and I'm trying to shape history. Pulling from the sky for some strength to take with me. Line up the stars, fly away quickly and push the world forward like a tidal wave hit me. I ride the wave swiftly, I fear no man. Check my titles, mate, quickly.
Episode 119. Welcome. Merry Christmas season, although it's not Christmas yet. I'll probably do a video live on the 25th on Christmas Day to say hello to everybody. For today, we've got 3 questions from our Scalable and Sale members. The first one, Rob.
Hi Jack, it's Rochelle. My business is Believe, adolescent mentoring. I just want some tips on how to get your business actually started.
Very good question, Rochelle. I'll answer your question with an anecdote. Let's say you were starting a business and the business was launching next week and it was a restaurant and you were inviting me out to your restaurant and you wanted to tell me what the number one success factor of that particular restaurant was. So everybody watching along, imagine for a second you're opening a restaurant next week and you want to tell me what the number one success indicator of that business, that restaurant is going to be. Would you pick, I want to have a great menu? Would you pick, I want to have a great ambiance? Would you pick, I want to give people a great experience? What would be the number one factor that you think would be the main determinant of the success or otherwise that particular restaurant? I would argue that the number one factor you want if you were starting a restaurant next week is you want to start it in a location that has a hungry crowd, right? Because if you start a restaurant in a location with a hungry crowd, people will come to eat. So the question is this: when you're starting out a business, do you have a starving crowd that wants to be fed with whatever it is that you are offering? With the popularization of entrepreneurship today, there's a lot of businesses running around not quite sure of what problem they're solving, right? It's really bad to be a solution looking for a problem. Great businesses start with the problem and they, like a genuine problem, and they solve it, right? Some of the greatest businesses are businesses that have scratched their own itch, meaning I had a problem myself and therefore I've built this business to address that problem, and therefore I'm my consumer because I understand, hypothetically, I understand all of the challenges and the frustrations that that particular consumer has because I'm one of them, right? But the number one thing you need to find is a genuine market demand, a genuine problem that enough people have that you believe you can come in and help solve. You believe you can genuinely speak to the hearts and minds of this consumer and genuinely address the demand that they have by offering a great product or service that improves and touches and enhances their life in some way. So, find your hungry crowd.
My question for Ask Jack would be, how does he find his voice for the books that he writes?
This is a really good question. How did I find my voice? And one that is interesting to think about. Funnily enough, I think you find your voice by listening. You listen first and foremost to yourself. You might go out and explore some of the world by going into different jobs, or you might go traveling, or you might do, it's through, to find your voice, to know thyself requires the exploration of 2 different things. The first thing you want to explore is yourself. The second thing you want to explore is the world. And when I say the world, I don't mean different countries, although it might be that, but I mean different industries, different businesses, different paths, different callings. Hang out with different people, right? Explore, and and the only reason you explore the world is because it enhances and reflects really, really well. It means that fuck. Can we let's just cut it and I'll go. The only reason we explore the world is because it enhances our ability to explore ourselves, right? As you go and work in different jobs or test different industries or work in different businesses or go to different countries, it helps you identify who you are. What do you love? What do you hate? What do you resonate with? What do you resonate against? What do you want to fight for? What do you want to fight against? By exploring the world, it is just a really good reflection and mirror to help one explore themselves. So to find your voice, listen. Listen to yourself first and foremost. Listen to the experiences that you attract into your life. And in doing so, give your inner voice volume to the point where it becomes louder than all of the different voices outside of your head in such a way that you can't help but hear your own voice.
Hi, I'm Emily from Good Media, and my question for Jack D is, if you've got a range of services that you are offering, should you look at niching these down so you can be more specific, or do you think it's okay to be offering a few different services for your different clients?
Emily, very good question. And the answer is this. Firstly, it's multi-layered, right? Which is to say this. Businesses that are truly great are often businesses that focus to the nth degree, right? And Apple with the iPhone is a great example of this. They brought out one phone, but their one phone was better than Nokia's 300 phones, which is why they stole significant market share. So a fundamental and somewhat timeless business principle and life principle as well is to focus. Often the less we do in terms of breadth, the more we do in terms of depth. So you want to focus, particularly in the early stages. However, and this might sound contradictory, so I'll try and reconcile it. In the early days, in the startup days of business, some people go and get a job so that they can pay the bills. And so if you've diversified for the sake of there was opportunities, there was 5 different clients wanting 5 different things, and therefore there was 5 different opportunities to generate cash, then yes, you would do that, because startup business, first year to 3, you will go anywhere and do things that are far outside of your focused scope that you would one day like to hone in on, in order to keep the lights on, right? So what the vision we hold for what our business will become, we have to be willing to step outside of those perfect parameters in the early days just to get cash through the door, right? So if you have spread your focus because it is helping you generate cash, then that can be a good thing, although I would implore you to start refining it and focusing it as the business matures so that you can wedge into the market, pick one thing and try and become the best in the world at it. However, if you've diversified your focus because you just weren't focused and none of them are generating cash, then that's not good. It's not that there was an opportunity there to have 5 different clients and generate cash. It's just that we've done it because perhaps we didn't have the thought to focus earlier on. Then I would actually get rid of 4 or 5 of them, focus on one thing, and then peripheral opportunities might come up. You might diversify later. However, your fastest path to revenue and your fastest path to profitability is through walking the path of focus. Pick one thing, try and become the best in the world at it, and if you need to step outside of that along the journey to generate cash, do so, but don't do so because we want to try and build 5 different product lines at once, because your greatest chance, the most effective way, the most efficient way to get into profitability is to focus on one thing. Thank you for asking those questions, guys. It is the 23rd of December. We are getting in the Christmas spirit. We'll be back for another episode of Ask Jack D with more Christmas decorations tomorrow.